some thoughts here, or you can ask questions about anything you see up here that you need further clarification on.
Oh yeah, I do.
Okay.
On the side, for like, why am I supposed
This one?
to? Yeah, the x equals x slash 4. What is the slash?
Divide.
Okay.
Because what's going on here, because remember this, what does this -1 mean? The opposite, right?
Inverse function.
Good. This is the inverse function. So to this function, because this is 4 times x, so it's x divided by 4. That's a good question. Okay, go ahead, Kayla.
Can I do it?
Sure, absolutely. And please be very clear in your explanation so that people can follow what you're saying.
No,
No.
no, because it's 2 times x, so it should be x divided by 2, not x divided by 5.
Oh, yeah, let's do it. My bad.
No.
What?
It's like that. But that person is still not
Wait.
Okay, so Ayana and Kawakeb are saying 2 different things. Ayana is saying it should be x divided by 2 because that's the inverse of the original function 2 times x. Kawakeb is saying that the first one, it should be x minus 2, and the second one should be x divided by 5. So let me call a card for clarification. Who do you agree with? What Kawakeb is saying or what Ayana is saying? And well, go ahead, Eric.
I think I am right.
Okay.
She's supposed to divide 2 because 2 in front of x is 2x.
Yes.
So you switch x and 2 around, so it's x minus 2.
Yes. Okay, Anthony?
I agree with Aina. It didn't make sense.
Okay. All right.
Change it to the opposite.
Right.
looking for your example.
Okay. Let's look at that in a moment. What's the values here, honey? Can you write that a little bit more clearly? Okay.
Yeah. 2. I think I wrote that 2 backwards.
Yes, you did. Can you fix that? Because it looks like an S. Okay? All right. So Kawakeb says look at the example, and we will look at the example. All right. The first thing that I want to, this is correct. X does equal 25, right? And you can use this, the original function, to check. What's 2 times 25? Plus 5 is?
55.
So 25 is the correct solution, correct? Okay, now, Kawakeb, you said let's look at the example here. Notice the flow here. This is, so we know that this 2-step equation is composed of 2 separate functions, right? First we do 4 times x, then we do x plus 4. But if we look on this side, the inverses are in the opposite order. So you have to do the inverse of the second function first, then do the inverse of the first function. Because you're undoing the equation to solve for the value of x. So to solve an equation, you have to do the inverses in opposite order. Everybody say that. To solve an equation,
To solve an equation,
you have to do the inverse
you have to do the inverse
in the opposite order.
in the opposite order.
Okay, so let me give you the reasoning for that. It's because when you solve, like, if we know what the x value is, we use the order of operations to evaluate the function, right? Okay, so to undo it, you have to do the order of operations in the opposite order. Does that make sense?
Wait, you said it.
Okay, let me give you an analogy. So you tie your shoe in a particular order, right? And then to loosen your shoe, you do it in the opposite order. Same thing, okay? So
that
you're
makes sense.
undoing something, so you have to do
Like
it in
you
the opposite
zip your
order.
jacket up and then you zip it down.
Exactly, yeah.
So, like, you saying when they say f x equals 4x, so you gotta, and then at the bottom it say x plus 4. So x, you gotta change the opposite and put it on the top, and 4x, you gotta divide x divided by 4 divided by 2.
Okay, is that clear? Okay, all right, so let's move on. The first thing I want to do is a discussion. I don't want you to work by the clubs. What do you think?
Oh, that's me, yeah. The first one says, when it says when x equals 2 is 2 plus 1, but the other one says, the sum of 2 equals x plus 1.
Okay. So the first one, say that again, so I can make sure I heard.
The first one says 2 plus x, and the other one says the sum of 2 equals x plus 1.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead, Kayla.
Expression and equation.
Expression and equation. Okay, which one is which?
The one on the left is expression.
Okay, so expression here.
Yeah.
Okay, and then here.
Equation.
Okay. What if I did, yeah, that's good. Okay. Anything else? Yeah, Anthony? And then Calvin?
Isn't that one? Can't they have like totally different answers?
Okay.
The y, that has to have equal 1. 1 plus 1 plus 2. And the other one, it equals 3, right? 3. So that one, yeah.
Okay, so there are different values. Okay, there's different values here. Calico?
So the first one, we know x equal 2.
Mm-hmm.
And so x plus 1 is 3.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know x was missing.
So the x is unknown here. Okay, the x is unknown here. And here we know what the x value is. Okay. Any other observations? So do we approach these situations in the same way? Can we think about what we have been doing in the last couple of days that has a relationship to this?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Eric.
Wasn't you like subtracting from inside?
So you subtract. Why do you subtract? What's that?
Because it's addition.
It's addition. So what's the relationship between those operations?
Opposite.
They're opposite and inverse, as Ayana is saying. So we use the inverses to solve equations. Inverses, and then I'll put opposite to solve. And then here, what's that word? I'm not sure if we really fleshed it out, but here we evaluate, which basically means, what am I saying by evaluate?
Solve.
It's to solve by plugging in, okay? So you plug in values here. Okay, so these are the key important ideas, foundational ideas of what we'll do today. So everyone should have the Candy Crush Saga sheet. How many of y'all have played Candy Crush before?
I got it on my phone.
9 of clubs. What do you notice about the situation here? 9 of clubs.
That you could master, those 25 levels
Okay, so there's a possibility that you can master in 10 days, okay? Let me call 2 more people. 9 of hearts, what else do we notice about this problem situation?
Tomorrow you get master 15 levels.
Okay,
So
good,
the
that's
next
good,
day
that's good. Go
The
ahead,
next
babe.
day they'll do the same 15 a day and 15 a day.
Okay, so you're continually adding on 15 levels a day, okay?
What they mean by 125?
Okay, so Shamai has a question about what 125 means.
Wasn't that what the friends did?
That's what the friends did. Okay, that's how much your friend has mastered, meaning they played the game and that's what level they're at.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, 125. Okay, one more, 6 of hearts. What do you notice about the situation?
You mastered 20 levels
He mastered 20 levels.
already.
Okay, you already mastered 20 levels, okay? All right, so what question, let's say if we were gonna turn this into a CST question, what do you think they would ask you? What is the question in this situation, Caleb?
Alright, your friend has mastered 125 levels. You have mastered 20 levels. How many more levels have your friend mastered?
Okay, how many more levels have your friend mastered? Yeah.
How many days will it take you to reach the your friends?
Okay, how many days will it take you to reach your friend's level of mastery? Okay, okay, so I would more so go with Anthony based on the information that's given there, Caleb. Do you see that? Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to explore the situation in your group with no interruption for about, I'll give you 15 minutes. The whole paper, front and back. If you have questions, this is what I'll be circulating around, but this is your guide to help you. Okay? So if you have some questions, everything that we've done in here has a place in what we are doing here in this activity. So you have 15 minutes to work through it, and we'll just be walking around and observing. No, you're working with your group, talking with your group, discussing with your group, coming up, filling in the data tables, coming up with solutions. So the first question, make sure you've written down the question. How many days will it take you to catch up to your friend? That's the first question. So please make sure you write that down. And continue to work through, so you have 15 minutes.
Yes,
He said no. So for the first one, it was
So it's work through the activity, so just step by step, what's good. So it starts with
What do y'all know about the problem?
so
What you know about the problem?
it's 15 levels a day.
What you know about the problem?
Okay, so okay, you master 20 levels. That means we all master 20 levels, and then you start tomorrow. You begin 15.
Lost it
You
20,
begin
he
mastering
already
15.
has.
So your friend has 125 levels. Well, yeah. So we gotta. How many days is gonna take us to catch up to 10 levels? 20 versus 15. We gotta see how many days it's gonna take. See, it says 15 levels a day.
15 times 7, 15 times 7.
Okay, now we gotta do, what question could we ask about this situation?
So if you master 20 levels, and then you start at 2 and you become master.
15.
Yeah, 1 week.
15
Talk,
times
can
8
we
plus
talk
20.
together? Cause you see, he didn't build all this in here.
Plus 1.
Okay, so we need to talk to you, okay?
30 months.
No, first day 20, tomorrow 15, 15, 15.
Total levels.
So can we translate it in here? Start with step 1 and translate this into here. Okay?
Because you start 3 times 15 is x,
Are you discussing with me?
20,
So it's basically like 15 times 2 plus 20.
15 times 15 x plus
Okay. Were you able to talk to her about what's going on? So right now they're trying to figure out the equation. So you're using this situation. Okay?
21 weeks, 7 days, 7 days, 7 days.
Times 1.
That's from
You know,
14 and 15 x.
Oh, yeah, we are.
8.
Well, I think it's 28.
37, number like 6 for
I don't know. What does X represent?
I think it's going to be 5 weeks.
What does X represent here?
the days.
Okay, so what do you think? Do you think you substituted in? Is that logical for you?
I don't need them.
You don't? Okay. So, what, I mean, did you ask Kawakab? Did you ask Godwin? What do y'all think? What are these for? What do you think those are for? Okay. So what do you think, Gary? Okay.
The number of days after star day. Here.
Is B the Y intercept? That's a good question.
Okay, so basically 15. Is that minus?
Oh, right here.
Work with what you think. You think that B is the Y intercept?
Here is 35.
Then I would work through that, we'll work through that information. Okay? So what's the discussion here?
Oh, I think we got 35 and then 50, plus 15. Okay, wait, let's 35 times 15, 15, sorry.
2015 is constant.
Okay, so it's, wait, so
which part-
first one, you put subtraction plus addition.
Yeah, which part is
15
constant?
subtracted by 1 plus 20.
15, what's
You think 15 is constant?
and plus 20? It's going to be 20
Does
times
constant mean that
15 times 2 plus 20.
it stays the same? So what's staying the same? 20 or the 15? 20.
Times 3 and 15 times 2.
Oh, I get it. I'm getting something. I'm getting something.
All you gotta do is, you don't really have to.
Wait, that is
Here we need 1 week, 1 week, 7 days, 7 days.
Look, Jackie, you have to do that. Because you know it's going down, going up by 15.
What are you doing?
15 each time. Yes, yes.
For the first one, it was
So it's work through the activity, so just step by step, what's good. So it starts with step
What do y'all
one.
know about the problem?
so
What you know about that?
it's 15 levels of grade.
Okay, so, okay, you master 20 levels, that means we all master 20 levels. And then you start, tomorrow you begin 15.
Plus at 20,
You
he
begin mastering
already
15.
has.
So and then your friend has 125 levels. Well, yeah, so you gotta, how many days it's gonna take? You take that to catch up to
20 only goes
20, plus, 15. We gotta see how many days it's gonna take. See, it says 15 levels, 8 days.
So, 7,
Okay, now we gotta do, what question could we ask about this information?
So if you master 20 levels, and then you start at 20, you become master.
15. Yeah, 1 week. 15
Talk, when we talk together, because you see, he did build all this in here. Okay, so we talk to the group now, right?
30
So first day, 20, tomorrow, 15, 15, 15.
So can we translate it in here, start with step one, and translate this into here? Okay?
Because you start 3 times 15 is X, so it's
Are you discussing it?
20.
So it's basically like 15 times 2 plus 20.
15 times 15
Okay. Were you able to talk to them about what's going on? So right now they're trying to figure out the equation. So you was in this situation. Okay?
21 weeks, 7 days, 7 days, 7 days times 1. You know, 7
X.
Oh, yeah,
8.
well, I think it's really X.
7, number like 6
I don't know. What does X represent?
I think it's gonna be 5 days.
What does X represent here?
the days.
Okay, so what do you think? Do you think you substituted in? Is that logical for you?
I don't need them.
You don't? Okay. So, what, I mean, did you ask Kawakab? Did you ask Godwin? What do y'all think? What are these for? What do you think those are for? Okay. So what do you think, Eric? Okay.
The number of days after star day. Here.
B, the Y intercept. That's a good question.
Okay, so basically 15. Is that
Why don't you just
Oh, right here.
work with what you think? You think that B is the Y intercept?
Right here is 35.
Then I would work through that, work through that information. Okay? So what's the discussion here?
Oh, I think you subtract 5 from 15 and then 50, plus 15. Okay, wait, let's 35 plus 15. 15, sorry.
2015 is constant.
Okay, so it's, wait, so
which part-
this one, you put subtraction as addition.
Yeah, which part is
15
constant?
subtracted by 1 plus 20.
15, what's
You
it?
think 15 is constant?
And plus 20. It's going to be 20.
Does constant mean that
15 times 2 plus 20.
it stays the same? So what's staying the same? 20 or the 15? 20.
Times 3. And 15 times 2.
Oh, I get it. I'm getting something. I'm getting something else.
All you gotta
This
do,
third grade, right?
you don't really have to.
Wait, that is.
Here we need 1 week, 1 week, 1. Look, Jackie, you have to do that. Because you know it's going down, going up by 15.
How are you using, what is your mind to make these values? What are you doing?
15 each time.
Let's see. All right, so 7 days, you have 125, and in the middle here, you have 15, straight down. Okay, Caleb has some feedback for you.
Alright, so the first thing you got wrong is the 120. Cause that's the amount that your friend got. You're not trying to get that amount. You're trying to subtract. Wait, I said that wrong. So basically you got that 120 wrong. That's all I'm trying to say.
It's 125.
Oh, 125, my correction. You got that wrong anyway. But anyway, and then like if you put that into the equation, so basically it will be 15 plus it will be 15 times 1, and that's 15, right? Plus 125, that wouldn't equal the first day because X is the amount of days. Now, can I tell them the answer?
Okay, so, Mike, are you understanding? Here, can we focus so that we can know what's going on? Okay. So, Mike, are you understanding the feedback that he's giving here? He's saying that these values don't match this process. Because this is what you use. This process is what you use to get these values. Okay? Kayla, would you agree with his values out here?
Values? I can't really see it.
35, 50, 65, 80, 95, 110, 125, 140. Are those the correct values?
Yes.
Okay, so Michael, how did you get these values?
Added by 15.
Added by 15. Added by 15. Added by 15, right? That's what you did? Okay? So, what now then? Because we have to get the correct process here. Yeah.
Plus 20.
Plus 20. So CalOCAB is saying that instead of 125, you should have 15x plus 20 here. Why is it plus 20? We had it. Okay. Go ahead.
I say it's because in part A it says you master 20 levels.
Yes, you mastered 20. What were you going to say, Eric? You started off with 20. What is the mathematical concept or mathematical term of the starting off point in an equation? What is that called?
The y-intercept.
The y-intercept. The y-intercept means what?
That's where it starts.
Where it starts. What does that mean? Where x is 0. So what's the rate of change on this side? Plus 1. Right? So that supports this. 15 over 1 is 15, right? So that supports this value. And if we go back 15, what's this number going to be? 20. And then if we go back 1, 0. So that supports the construction of our correct situation, right? Okay, so Your values were correct, Michael, but this is the process that you kind of used indirectly, okay? So can we agree that 7 days is how long it'll take for you to catch up to your friend? Yes? Yes. Okay, so based on the work that we have been doing, what does this table have to do with the work that we have been doing in the last couple of days? What does this table and this process have to do with the work that we've been doing in the last couple of days? That's the question. Okay, let me call a card to make sure we get diversity of participation here. 7 of hearts. Okay. Loud, I can hear you.